Here I am, or here we are. I'm actually, I'm visiting my brother, so I'm teaching from a new location. That always makes me a little bit nervous because things are different, and then I'm not sure if things are going to work out and so forth. But thank you for your patience with me and me moving around in the world. And I'm so grateful that I can continue working together with you guys, even when I'm traveling. To me, this is a lifeline. It's stability in my life, and I'm grateful for it. Okay, and we follow the same recipe every week. So we're going to start with wisdom from others. I'm still working with Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm choosing something that relate to my life, or something that's helpful to me. And maybe it's helpful to you too. Seeds of violence. Violence is never far. It is possible to identify the seeds of violence in our everyday thoughts, speech, and actions. We can find these seeds in our minds, in our attitudes, and in our fears and anxieties about ourselves and others. Thinking itself can be violent, and violent thoughts can lead us to speak and act violently. In this way, the violence in our minds manifests in the world. The daily wars that occur within our thoughts and within our families have everything to do with the wars fought between people and nations throughout the world. The conviction that we know the truth and that those who do not share our beliefs are wrong has caused a lot of harm. When we believe something to be the absolute truth, we have become caught in our own views. If we believe, for instance, that Buddhism is the only way to happiness, we may be practicing a kind of violence by discriminating against and excluding those who follow other spiritual paths. When we are caught in our views, we are not seeing and understanding in accord with reality. Being caught in our views can be very dangerous and block the opportunity for us to gain a deeper wisdom. Okay, so with that in mind, let's continue with the physical practice. And then I'll read it again before we do the meditation. So finding your seat, sitting up tall, maybe lifting the heels and the toes to remind us of the connection to earth. Sometimes when we go into anxiety or worry, we lose it feels like we lose the connection to earth. And one way to remind us that we are still connected and we're still here is to lift the toes and the heels and notice, bring the awareness to the soles of the feet, and notice how the soles of the feet are connecting to earth. And then if you want to, you can bring awareness to your sitting bones. Notice how those two stable, strong sitting bones are connecting to the chair. The pit of the belly goes in and up, in and up. It gives internal support to the spine, and the spine can lengthen. Maybe place your fingers on top of your head And imagine how the crown of the head is rising up towards the sky. So the sitting bones are securely grounded in the chair, and the crown of the head is reaching up towards the sky. And the pit of the belly gives internal support and inspiration to the spine to grow. And then maybe imagine how the crown of the head is opening up and we are receiving guidance from above. Maybe drop down a couple of inches to the midbrain or your third eye or your mind's eye. You can imagine seeing a white light or a bubble or a pearl. And then allow your awareness to go to that pearl or bubble or white light. Maybe breathe into it. And notice what happens to that white light or that pearl or that bubble as you breathe into it. How does it change? Does it grow? Does it move? Breathing into your mind's eye. And then if you want to, you can open your eyes, you can place your hands on your knees and then start the cat-cow movement. Waking up the physical and the spiritual spine. You can add the breathing. Maybe exhale when you're round. Inhale into the back bend. Exhale when you're round. So the first and the second kosha, the physical body and the breath body, are working together as a team. And then finding your way back to neutral, checking with the soles of the feet, the sitting bones, the crown of the head. Notice your breathing, the inhale and the exhale. Maybe envision that pearl in your midbrain. And then add some blinking, bubbling stars. Open and close the fingers, blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over. Straighten those elbows. Let the palms of the hand reach up towards the sky. And then release. Reach and choose. Reach and choose. Of all the stars up there, which ones are you going to choose? Reach and choose. And then notice, what do they bring you? Do they bring you pain or pleasure? Or maybe peace? Pain, pleasure, or peace? And then reach both arms up, turn to one side, let the fingers move away from each other. Breathe in. Maybe look behind you. And then release, shake it out. Blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over, straighten the elbows. Palms of the hand are facing the sky, reaching up. Breathe. The pit of the belly is supporting the spine. And then reach and choose, reach and choose. And then notice, how do you feel after your choice? Does it cause you or bring you pain or pleasure or peace? And then reach up, turn to the other way, bring the fingertips away from each other, look behind you. And release. And then maybe lift the shoulders and release them, lift and release, lift and release. And then bringing the arms up in cactus, gently moving from side to side, and another twisting motion, and then maybe reach the arm forward, like we're going swimming. Notice how you're using your feet and legs as you are moving this way. Maybe you want to go backwards, swing backwards. And then bringing knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Engaging the core, pit of the belly goes in and up. Maybe cross the midline, so the opposite elbow to the opposite knee. Maybe you want to try and bring both knees up and balance here for a moment. Maybe do some of these movements. So playing around, exploring different ways of doing this exercise. And then eventually coming back to neutral, blinking, bubbling stars all the way up, clasp the hands, turn them over, breathe in. Look up, and then release the fingertips out wide, going into like airplane. And where would you like to fly? Where would you like to fly? Turn the fingers or hands up, inhale, exhale, round forward. Inhale up, exhale forward, inhale up. And this time exhale forward and then bring the arms behind you, holding on to opposite elbows. And then stay there. The neck is long, shoulders are wide. If you feel any tightness, imagine how your breath is like a warm, healing water. Allow that warm, healing, rinsing water to find any tightness, gently clean it, and release any pain. And then release one arm, bring it all the way up, place it on your back behind your heart. Feel how you support yourself. Feel how your hand can support your heart. And then release the other arm and bring that one and place it on top of the first hand. Noticing how two hands can support your heart. Two hands supporting your heart. And then release both arms down. Okay, now bring the feet a little bit wider. So you have like a triangle from your sitting bones and your feet. And then start to transfer the weight from one sitting bone to the other. If you want to, you can think about like going to one side, going a little bit too far to one side causes pain, going a little bit too far to the other side causes pleasure, and in between is peace. That's balance. In yoga, we talk about balance. Too much pain is not too good, too much pleasure is not too good. We're looking for balance or peace. So going from one side to the other, Noticing where is like the middle way. Where is the middle way? It's okay to go far to one side and then too far to the other side. And eventually we learn and we find our way back to the middle. If you want to, you can create circles. You can go one way and then the other way. You can go diagonal. The other diagonal. Or you can move in a way that no one else has moved before, finding a completely new way of moving. In yoga, we talk about skillful action. What does skillful action look like to you? And then eventually finding your way back to neutral, bring the feet together, big toes to touch, heels slightly apart, like Tadasana feet. And then lifting one knee up and creating these big circles, opening up the hips. We store a lot of memories and unconscious memories in the hips. And sometimes when we practice this hip openers, we release stories. So tightness can be stories stuck in the body. Step out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together, lengthen the spine. The pit of the belly goes in and up, supporting the spine from within. You can stay here, or if you want, you can release the hands down, release the head, maybe move from side to side, maybe reach the hands forward, move around. Notice, what does your body need today? Inhale, come back up, place the foot on the knee. And then use the fingers to open up the space in between the toes. Gently use that elbow to guide the knee out wide. And then slide the knees together, inhale, arms up. Exhale, turn away from the knee, look behind you. What did you learn yesterday? What did you learn yesterday? And then release back to neutral. Lift the other knee up high, creating circles. Maybe releasing some tightness or story stuck in the body from the hips. And then step out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together, lengthen the spine, pit of the belly goes in and up, supporting or giving you support from inside, internal support. And then if you want to, you can release the hands down. Maybe place one hand on the earth and then let the other one go up high. So one part of you is grounded in the into the earth, and the other one is reaching up towards the sky. And then you can switch and try the other side and see how that feels. And then release down, inhale, come back up. Foot on the knee, using your fingers to create space in between the toes. Gently guide that knee out wide. And then slide the knees together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, turn away from those knees, and then look behind you. What worked well in the past? What worked well in the past? And then release back to neutral. Okay, now we're gonna work a little bit with the leg muscles to bring the heels a little bit closer, transfer the weight forward and up, making sure that you have the chair there if you need it, and then find ways to work those legs. So it might be going up and down like this. Maybe you pick a number, maybe pick 10. So just barely touching the chair and then coming up, barely touching the chair. So like 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then maybe you want to do something else, like lifting one leg, lifting the other. And then come back down, shake it out, and then all the way back up again. Okay, blinking, bubbling stars all the way up, clasp the hands, turn them over. Let the palms of the hand reach up towards the sky. And then maybe some side bending. Notice how the lungs are stretching, creating space for all that air and oxygen that we need. And then maybe reach. What are you choosing? What choices are you making? And what does it bring you? Pain, pleasure, or peace? Pain, pleasure, or peace? And then release, and then let the arms go. Just let the arms go. Let the arms go. Maybe bend the knees. Maybe swirl around. Maybe let the arms go up, down. If you just moved whatever way you wanted, what would that look like? No one is watching. If no one is watching, how do you dance when no one is watching? And then eventually bringing the arms into cactus, swimming forward. And then knee up to elbow, knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Engaging the core. And we can move around here too. We don't have to stand in one spot. If you want to, you can cross the midline. And then hands on your hips and give yourself sometimes all we need is a kick in the butt. Like, let's do this now. We've been talking about it for a long time. Let's do it. Today is the day. And then lift the foot out towards the side. This is external support. So what kind of external support do you have? Maybe lean to one side and lift that foot up, working with the outer hips and external support. What does your external support look like? And me, C is one of the people, or one person who is giving me external support. And then try the other side. Who gives you external support? Okay, now look at the thumb. Pick a color. And then draw big circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And then look at the other thumb. Pick the same or a different color. Big circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, now blinking, bubbling stars. Open the fingers. Something that you have identified that is no longer helpful. Take that. It can be an attitude, it can be a pattern, anything that's no longer helpful, and then push it away, push it away, push it away, push it away, push it away. And it's going to try to come back, and it's going to be so hard to resist. And maybe you give in a little bit, but then you push back, push back, push back. Stay away, stay away. And then maybe we need to add some kicking, really, to make it stay away. Might try to sneak in from the side. Might have to do some kicking on the side, or maybe from behind. And then eventually, we're going to notice that it's no longer pushing, and I can release the hands, and it's not coming back. It's not coming back. Okay, now, when we have created this space, we can invite the sun back in, or the sun is going to come back in. So let's do 3 sound salutations. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, down the midline. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, down the midline. And then the last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, down the midline. And then stay there, holding your own heart in between your hands with love and compassion. And release. Okay, let's do some step backs. Inhale to chair posture. Exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the left. Right heel comes off the floor. Take a big step back. Find the earth behind you, first with the toes and then with the heel. Creating or building warrior one from the base up. Everything is facing forward. Warrior one is checking things out, simply observing without judgment. Add some blinking, bubbling stars all the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over. Straighten the elbows. Allow the palms of the hands to reach up towards the sky. Breathe. Release the fingertips out wide. Place your hands in your back pockets. What would happen if you allowed your heart to lead? And then release the hands to the chair. Bring the back foot up. Lift the opposite hand. You can stay here, or if you want to, you can add some movement, bringing knee to elbow. If you'd like, you can try to take the bind. And then release the foot back down, bend the knees, and come back up to standing. Let's try the other side. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the right, left heel comes off. Take a big step back, find the earth behind you, first with the toes, and then with the heel. Notice how the soles of the feet are connecting to earth. And when you have the stability that you need, add some blinking, bubbling stars, come all the way up, clasp the hands, turn them over. Release the fingertips out wide. Place your hands in your back pockets. Elbows come together. Allow the heart to lead. And then release the hands to the chair. Pick the back foot up. Pick the opposite hand up. And then add some movement, letting the knee and elbow to connect. And then maybe take the bind. And then eventually allowing the feet to come back together, bend the knees, and come back up to standing. Okay, let's try another step, stepping back to warrior two. So inhale to chair posture, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the left, right heel comes off. Take a big step back, open up the pelvic halves, finding warrior two. One hand in the future, the other one in the past, and you are right here, right here. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. What did you learn from the past? What worked well in the past? And then bring that experience with you into the future, making a plan. So with the experience you have from the past, what kind of plan can you make for the future? And then come back into the present moment. What would be the first step? What's the first step that you can take? Bring your hands on your hips, straighten that front knee, let the hand slide down, or maybe hold on to the chair, and then let the other hand move up towards the sky. Trikonasana. What does your blinking, bubbling star look like? Rebend the front knee, come back to warrior two in the present moment. We are right here, right now, in the perfect place. This is the perfect place to be. And then bring the hands to the chair, lift that back foot up, maybe dip the toe or touch the, or connect to ground, up to the sky, earth, sky, earth, sky. And then eventually stay up there and bring the same hand off the chair, for a balancing posture. And if you want to, you can take the bind. Bring awareness back to your breathing. Often the breathing here gets faster. Can you slow it down? And then eventually release the bind, bring the feet back together, bend the knees, and come back up to standing. Let's try the other side. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra. Transfer the weight to the right, left heel comes off. Take a big step back, open up the pelvic halves, finding warrior two. One hand in the past, one in the future, and you are right here, right here. Notice the inhale, notice the exhale. Flip the front hand and reverse the warrior. Use all that experience and wisdom that you have gathered over the years and bring it with you into the future. How can you create a better future with all the things you learned? And then find your way back to the present moment. We are right here, right now, in the perfect place. What is the first baby step that I can take right now? Place your hands on your hips, straighten that front knee. Let the hands slide down, finding Trikonasana. Trikonasana. What does that blinking, bubbling star look like in you? What makes you tick? What makes you turn into a blinking, bubbling star? And then rebend that front knee, find your way back to the present moment. Place the hands on the chair, lift the back foot up, connect to the earth, sky, earth, sky. Our plans, we want them to go high, but they have to be grounded in reality. So how do we connect earth or bring earth and sky together? Keep the foot up high and then maybe get that same hand off the chair. You can stay here, or if you want to, you can take the bind. And then eventually release the feet back together, bend the knees, and come back up to standing. Okay, tree posture. Big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Starting in Tadasana, mountain posture. We are stable, steady. One part of me can be strong and steady, and the other one can be playful. So transferring the weight to one side, bring the right heel off. And then I can allow a part of me to be light and playful. Maybe creating a traditional tree posture. Maybe I want my arms to go up high. Maybe bringing up my gaze. Eventually, I'm gonna fall. Ooh. Is this place safe enough for me to fall? And if I fall, luckily there is a couch right here. So I can just fall right into the couch and then I can try again. Well, let's try the other side. Big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Transfer the weight to the right, left heel comes off. So I can feel that one part of me is stable and strong, and the other one is willing to take a little bit of risk. So what risk are you willing to take today? Maybe it's a little tiny risk, or maybe it's a big one. Maybe it's so big that you're going to fall. And if you do, you find a way back up, and then we try again. And eventually finding your way back to Tadasana. Feel the even weight in both legs connected to earth. Crown of the head is reaching towards the sky. Okay, release. Now, bring the feet a little wider than your hips. Spread out the toes. Hold on to the chair. Release the knees down. Look at your thumb. Or maybe let's take all fingers. Let's take all the fingers and then paint a colorful picture with all 5 fingers. Eventually touching the heel. Hips are moving towards the chair. And then release. And then look at use the other fingers on the other side. All 5 fingers, tons of colors, painting a colorful picture. All 5 fingers, different colors. What does it look like? And then eventually touching the heel or connecting to the heel. And release. And this time, all 10 fingers, tons of colors, creating a beautiful image. Place the hands in your back pockets and allow the heart to lead. And after all that creating, we get tired. Untuck the toes, bring the knees a little bit wider, and release into into a child posture. You can keep your head on the chair, or you can find your way all the way down to the floor. Inhale and come back up. Okay, now create that stable triangle. So clasp the hands, elbows are wide, create a stable triangle, tuck the toes, engage the pit of the belly, lift the knees off the floor, and then come into dolphin posture. Armpits move towards your feet. If you turn upside down, how does that change your perspective? If you turn everything you know upside down, what do you see? And then bend the knees, slowly come back up to standing. Okay. Now, I'm going to read this passage from Thich Nhat Hanh one more time, and then we'll sit for about 10 minutes. Seeds of violence. Violence is never far. It is possible to identify the seeds of violence in our everyday thoughts, speech, and actions. We can find these seeds in our own minds, in our attitudes, and in our fears and anxieties about ourselves and others. Thinking itself can be violent, and violent thoughts can lead us to speak and act violently. In this way, the violence in our mind manifests in the world. The daily wars that occur within our thoughts and within our families have everything to do with the wars fought between peoples and nations throughout the world. The conviction that we know the truth and that those who do not share our beliefs are wrong has caused a lot of harm. When we believe something to be the absolute truth, we have become caught in our own views. If we believe, for instance, that Buddhism is the only way to happiness, we may be practicing a kind of violence by discriminating against and excluding those who follow other spiritual paths. When we are caught in our views, we are not seeing and understanding in accordance with reality. Being caught in our views can be very dangerous and block the opportunity for us to gain a deeper wisdom. Okay, and now let's find a seat and meditate for about 10 minutes. So sitting up tall, actually, I'm gonna take this chair instead. Sit up tall, connecting the soles of the feet to the earth. Pit of the belly is supporting the spine internally. Crown of the head is reaching up. Maybe dropping down to the midbrain, imagine that pearl or that bubble or that white light. Bringing your awareness to your breathing. Noticing the inhale and noticing the exhale. And simply observe what's coming to you. And now I'm going to be quiet for about 9 minutes. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Gently move your head from side to side. Take a deep breath in and let it go. If you want to, you can place your hands in front of your heart, holding your own heart in between your hands with love and compassion. Maybe bow your head in gratitude for this practice, thousands of years old. Thank your inner guide, your past, present, and future teachers, and all the people that are joining you on this journey. Gently open your eyes, look at the floor in front of you, raise your gaze, and thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.
Namaste.